Hello guys, it's Darksigner here from the German Duel Masters channel and welcome back to another duel video. Today I got for you the finals of the 4th IDC tournament, and you can see Hymne playing on top with his Hydro Hurricane control deck and me at the bottom playing my Forbos control deck which I used to win our 3rd IDC tournament with. And I wanted to go back to back with this deck, and nothing really much changed with the list. I just took out one Ghost Touch and put in one Locomotiver for it, like I said in my deck profile video. That was the only change I made, so basically the same list as the last tournament. And some background info for this match. I played Hymne in the group stage, and there Hymne won 2-0 against me, so it's not a favorable matchup for me playing against his deck. He really has a good matchup because his deck has a he can play the longer games. His deck is a really hard control deck, and the longer the game goes, the more likely he will win this. So I have to control him to a certain degree and then start to finish the game a bit earlier, because the longer I take to finish him, the more chances he has to make a comeback. So it's really not the best matchup I have here in the finals. He started with a Giga Balsa, discarding my Soul Swap, which is really nice for him. That's a card I really need. And he plays Petrova, calling Guardians, and I immediately have the answer for it with Mecha Dragon's Breath. And in case you're wondering why he plays Giga Balsa, I think I already told this in the semi-finals match against Halfar. It's because Locomotiver is so represented in many strategies, and you really don't want, if you have to boost it, you don't want to have a Locomotiver and boost your opponent's Locomotivers as well with Petrova, so you play Giga Balsa instead. Here he has Mistrias, his main form of advantage gaining, and I immediately have the answer with APOC, so that was pretty nice. I have one Mistrias down already. The problem is he plays 4 of it and I'm left with only 1 card in hand, and he has 4 cards in hand, so he definitely has the card advantage. And I really need to start seeing some of my advantage gainers like Forbos or Fal to stay in this game. And now he plays Zombie Carnival. So the first Mistrias comes back already. That's not a good sight for me. Here I check my graveyard to see my answers against that, if I draw into a Fal-Iga. And I draw the Terror Pit, which I keep in hand as it's an answer for Mistrias next turn. And I just play Sky Sword because I want a body on board in case I draw Soul Swap, so I can use it. The problem is I charge the 4th Terror Pit into my mana zone, so all 4 are basically gone if I play my Terror Pit next turn. That's a real shame. I really need to see Belix to get some Terror Pits out of my mana zone. Unfortunately Sky Sword is a multi-Sif creature which comes into the mana zone tapped, so I can't make the play of Soul Swap into Terror Pit this turn, which would have been really nice. Therefore I just have to use Terror Pit on Mistrias to stop the advantage gaining from him. He's still in a very good position though, as I effectively just removed 1 Mistrias. It's the second one I removed was just the first one being recycled. So yeah. And now I draw into Bronze Arm Tribe, which is really nice. I had to hope for a green mana source, which I got here. The play was a bit luck based, but there was no other option. If I had charged it, I wouldn't have get any advantage of it, so it was the correct play to just hope for a nature mana. And I think now I'm just chatting with Hymne at this point. That's why you see me not doing anything for a few seconds. I think I was explaining that I really had to get that nature mana to make my play. And now I think I'm looking for a Cranium Clamp out of my deck. Yeah. Because I still have 4 mana left and Hymne is at 2 cards in hand and I discard them both. So we're basically now at a top decking war. And I discard Lost Soul and Laura Giga. Yeah, not too great, but the Lost Soul would have hurt later on. So that one was really nice. Unfortunately, he has the best top deck he could ask for, a Mystrias. That's so bad for me. And yeah, Solomon typing in the chat, third one. It's not the third one, it's still the second one. The first one got recycled, so the chances of drawing 1 of 3 left in the deck wasn't too bad. I give him that. Now I have Faliga, and I think I just I don't know what I search for. Maybe a Soul Swap or APOC. APOC can just kill the Mystrias. And yeah, I have a Soul Swap. Yeah, now I go into desperate mode and try to kill it with Bazar-Gazil, but I give him a draw every time I play Bazar-Gazil now, and he's just going to sacrifice Palaolesis here. Yeah, not the best position I'm in. I think getting back a Terror Pit or APOC would have been better to definitely clear out Mystrias next turn. And yeah, okay. Yeah, this one is basically over now. He has 2 Mystrias on board. Maybe I should have searched for Maker Dragon's Breath, but I think I couldn't plan that much ahead that he's going to have a second Mystrias. But Maker Dragon's Breath would be the only out at this point. But yeah, okay, he plays a second Palaolesis at this point. Yeah, okay, no, they're still at 6k, so yeah, Maker Dragon's Breath would be the answer. But yeah, I think I can do it here with the Soul Swap. I'm searching for Maker Dragon's Breath and call 6k. I give him another draw, which is really bad. Another 2 draws, because he has 2 Mystrias. But at least I get rid of both now. Yeah, I didn't thought about that possibility, so if I didn't get back Soul Swap the turn earlier, I would have definitely gone for Terror Pit or APOC, so I wasn't a bad spot either way. And now here comes the 4th Mystrias, that's really his last one. And Petrova calling Guardians, and now I'm just looking at his deck size and see if I can survive long enough for him to deck out. I don't even want to win this game anymore. I just want to stay alive as long as I can. And now they're just too strong. And I don't see how I'm in a better position now. Experiment typing in the chat that I'm in a good position. I don't see that here. He has all the field advantage, all the hand advantage. He has everything going for him, except that he's going to deck out in 10 turns. But I think he's going to win in the next 10 turns. He just has to find a way to some attackers, then go for it. So, not really a big problem here. And if he just gets more blockers on board and has the Hydro Hurricane, he doesn't even need too many attackers. He can just go in for 2 or 3 shields a turn and win the game that way. And yeah, the chat really thinking that I'm in a better position, but I don't know what they're looking at. And here comes the Hydra Hurricane for 6, and that seals the deal. Because they all think that deck out is the best possibility to win the game in the control mirror, maybe. But yeah, he's definitely going to win this in the next 8 or 9 turns that he has still left. There's no question that I'm going to lose this one. I'm just going to play it out here because I know it's the finals, and if he really has many bad draws here in a row, and maybe miraculously I have many shield triggers, but I know I don't have too many shield triggers as all Tarot Pits are gone, and I think 2 or 3 Soul Swaps are already gone, and Burst Shot is basically useless, so there's maybe just 1 or 2 Soul Swaps in there that can help me, and yeah, that's not really enough. And now he can recycle Faliga and then recycle his Hydro Hurricane and then seal the deal from there. I think he's just going to wait 1 more turn, and next turn he's Hydro Hurricaning my whole mana and then going in with all his attackers. And yeah. I'm just waiting here. In a group stage game, I would have already conceded and said let's go to game 2, because I know there's really no possible chance of me winning this. But as it's the finals, I hope for every bit of luck there is. Now I can play APOC on his Marrow Ooze, as it's only at 7k. That's the best play here. Then if he doesn't have Hydro, or like he has it of course, but if he doesn't play it, I could have Tarot Pitted something next turn. But yeah. Plays Giga Balsa, which is, yeah, that doesn't really change anything because the last 6 mana will be spent for Hydro Hurricane, and that bounces all my mana, as he has 7 light creatures on board, and he can still bounce my Sky Sword or Faliga, whichever he wants. I personally would have bounced Faliga, as my Faliga is also boosted by his Petrova, and Sky Sword isn't, so I can't counterattack. So yeah, there's a slight chance I could take out a creature with Faliga, but of course he still has 3 Palaoleses that boost all his creatures, so yeah, there's no real chance for me here. Now he plays Tarot Pit to clear everything. And yeah, I think I'm going to have 20 cards in hand at the end of this turn. And I play Burst Shot, but that only kills the Giga Balsa. The 2 Misrias and Laura Giga, of course, they survive because they are boosted by Petrova. But he made a mistake not attacking with the Giga Balsa first, so my Burst Shot was actually live for a Tarot Pit, Tarot Pit for Giga Balsa. But yeah, that only buys me 1 turn. Nothing really I can do. I think he's still at 4 or 5 cards in deck. Yeah, 5. So he still has 4 turns left to finish this game. Now he plays Miraculous Snare on my Belix. That gives me 1 shield, but yeah, I think that He could have just attacked and it would have been the same thing as I needed to block, and then it would have the same outcome, but okay. Yeah, I played a D-gate, but I think immediately afterwards I'm going to concede. Because I'm at 0 shields and can't do anything. That's game 1. He took it in pretty convincing fashion. He took out of all of my mana and then just slowly attacked my shields as I couldn't defend myself anymore. And now starting game 2, I think my hand is a bit better now than the first opening hand. So I'm definitely hoping for nature mana next turn. I really want to kickstart my game with Bronze Arm Tribe, but unfortunately I didn't draw it. That's really bad. So I decided to charge the Bronze Arm Tribe here to get my green mana, I think. Or no, okay, I think maybe I charge the Searing Wave here. Yeah, I still want the next card to be nature mana, so I can play Forbos a turn earlier. But if I remember correctly, that still doesn't happen. Yeah, there it is. Another Fal'iga. That's not a nature card. So now I'm just playing the Cranium Clamp as it's the only play I have, and I can recycle it next turn with Fal'iga. That's at least something. And I know Hymne isn't on hand guards in his control deck. Me neither, so I think it's the right call to not play hand guards in the control deck, because they're just sitting on your board doing nothing. They're basically useless vanillas that are on your board because you don't want to attack early anyways. So I think it's the correct choice not to play hand guards in a control deck. So I could clamp freely here. If my opponent is on something like Rub Midrange, I wouldn't have played Clamp because I know an Archie de la Serna could come down. And yeah, now he has Misdrias and can follow it up with a Laura Giga to even draw a card. That's not too great for me, I don't know. And yeah, now I have a really good top deck, the Rebirth. Otherwise I would have just clamped for two cards and hope that he doesn't have another creature. But this one definitely changes my plans, because Rebirth is the out to Misdrias, and I can get Fal'iga out to recycle it, or Skysword to get more mana and shields, but I think Skysword isn't too great in this matchup. I think Fal'iga is the right choice, and that's what I'm going to do. Getting back the Rebirth, so basically if he wants to play another Misdrias, he has to play Pala Odysseus. No, that doesn't help, he has to play Petrova before, because otherwise I will just kill it with Rebirth again. But now he is on 7 mana, so he could play a Lost Soul here, which he does. Yeah, that's quite bad for me. But I think even if I played Clamp last turn, he would have kept the Lost Soul and then just did the same thing and still have Misdrias on board, which would give him advantage in the next turn. So I think it was the correct choice to get rid of the Misdrias first and then just yeah, falling to the Lost Soul, but that happens. He has all the card advantage here with 3 cards in hand, and I'm top decking. And let's see, 5 mana. Okay, that's not a Misdrias, that's good for me. He recycles Misdrias, so if I top deck a Lost Soul here, that would be very, very good. D-Gate not really optimal, but better than nothing. And yeah, I just try to snipe one of the Misdrias out of his hand with Locomotiver, and I do. But we know he has 2 of them, So yeah, we're still going to phase 1, but I thought top decking removal next turn would help me against that. And okay, so he decides to play Petrova first, calling Guardians. So I can't use too much power-based kill spells against Mistreas. I think that's a fine choice, but that gives me one turn to play. And here I look at my graveyard because I could recycle the file and just search for the Lost Soul Engrave. Unfortunately, the Cranium Clamp is stuck in my mana zone right now. If I had it in grave, I would have just swapped file in and out and get it and then played it immediately, so he would be at 0 cards in hand and I would have gotten rid of the Mistreas. So I think I'm deciding to swap out the Forbos instead, so if I top deck another Forbos next turn I can capitalize on that advantage. But I'm really thinking this through, which one is the better choice. Maybe getting back the Rebirth, and if he plays that wouldn't help because Mistreas would be at 6k. And I have to swap in one of the Faligas so I don't lose out on my light mana completely. Maybe I could search for Ghost Touch and try to snipe the Mistreas again, but I think that wouldn't be an optimal play. Maybe Mechadran's Breath is the right call, as I can get rid of the Laura Giga and the Mistreas if he plays it next turn. Yeah, it's a hard decision. Okay, I search for a D-Gate. Maybe I'm searching for Bazagazil, because I can get that one out next turn. But I'm not too sure. No, I search for another Forbos. Okay. I say, okay, if you get advantage, I'm getting the same advantage as well. I just search for the second Forbos so I can search for 2 spells next turn. So okay, he plays just one Laura Giga. Maybe I'm missing something. Did he not have another Mistreas? Maybe that was a mistake on my part. Maybe he just had the one that I sniped with Locomotiver, because otherwise he would have definitely played it. Unfortunately, I draw into a Sky Sword. Otherwise, I could have searched for Ghost Touch here and got rid of the last card in hand. And yeah, I think that one, I didn't see that. He only recycled one Mistreas and I sniped it with Locomotiver, so even better for me in this position. And I get a Soul Swap. That's a card I always want to search if I have 2 Forbos on board, because next turn I can just do the same play again with Soul Swap for 3 mana and search for 2 spells again. And then the other spell I search is something I need at the situation. And I want the Petrova out with Mecha Breath. And now he plays Mistreas that turns the Mecha Breath on for the other Guardians. I don't know why he deploys another Laura Giga, because he knows it's going to die anyway, but I think he really needed the draw. Yeah, he only has 1 card in hand. I think keeping the Laura Giga would be worse, so he just played it in hopes to draw a good card. and I can just get rid of all of his guardians here. And my guardians, they stay safe because they are boosted to 8k by Petrova. And now I still have 3 mana left to do the play I told you one turn earlier. I can just swap the Forbos in and out. And I think I'm going to search for another soul swap and some spell I need again, maybe an Apoc or Lost Soul if I think he's going to draw next turn. So I'm really struggling on what I should search for my other spell here. But ultimately I decide for the Apoc, because that can really give me much advantage if he has another Mistrias and some other small creature on board. But he has the Lost Soul. Maybe he drew into that with Laura Giga, I don't know. So good for him that he drew the extra card either way. If he drew off the Mistrias, nice, but if he hadn't had that draw, he definitely wouldn't have drawn into the Lost Soul. So either way, it was the right decision to just put the Laura Giga out there to die. And now, yeah, I'm on my 4th soul swap. I'm thinking about using it here. The problem is that if I recycle another Forbos, I can't play Lost Soul afterwards, and I think the Ghost Touch is in shields. And at this point I regret not playing 2 Ghost Touch. That's the exact situation that I don't want to have. That's why I played two copies earlier, because I always wanted a searchable spell that can discard 1 card out of my opponent's hand. And yeah, okay, I think I'm going to just swap in Forbos back in and out to get 2 new spells. Maybe I thought about swapping in the Cryptic Totem there for a second, because I tapped that. Maybe that would be another good play. But I think I'm going for maybe a double D-Gate here, because I need a Fal Eager definitely to recycle my Soul Swap to get the Cryptic Totem out. But I also need Baza Gazil access to finish the game with Cryptic safely. Yeah, but I search for Terror Pit, just precautious, so I can kill any Mistrias or other threat he puts on board aside from Petrova. And now, okay, I search for Belix, and that one might give me the Clamp back. Yeah, so now I have additional discard back again. But yeah, regarding the 2 Ghost Touch, I couldn't really, couldn't be sad about it, because the Locomotiva really gave me the advantage this game, and it was searchable by D-Gate, so that was definitely the correct choice to play a 1-1 split. And now I just put the Terror Pit in mana, because I know I still have 2 or 3 left in my deck. And I discard his Glena, which wasn't really doing anything for him, as he doesn't have any Guardian. And now I'm just sitting on my Lost Soul, hoping that he draws some more cards with Energy Stream and stuff. But he doesn't. And yeah, here, like I said, I still have many Terror Pits left. And I just use it to remove Pala Olesis, because with Pala, Mistrias becomes a bigger problem. And I don't want to lose too many cards to an opponent's discard spell or Giga Balsa, so I just keep my Lost Soul, and if he plays a discard on it, okay, I'm fine with that. And now he starts to remove more of my Forbos, so top decking another Forbos wouldn't be too great, and this is straight up dead card in this matchup, Miraculous Meltdown, because Hymne is just attacking if he knows he's going to win the game 100%, so yeah, doesn't really help me. Okay, maybe it isn't completely dead, because now he might start attacking with Blue Murkis early on, and maybe then Meltdown could have helped me, but most of the time it isn't really useful because he's going to finish me before I can use it. Yeah, now I think about using Faliga to get back Soul Swap to get rid of Blue Murkis. And yeah, I charged the Lost Soul because I need to swap out his Giga Balsa, or I just get back the Terror Pit. Yeah, so I have 6 mana left. Yeah, that's also true, because if I use Soul Swap, I don't want to give him Palaolesis, and I had to give him Giga Balsa, and then he would have discarded my Lost Soul, so it would have been gone either way. So it's okay for me just to charge it and have enough mana for Terror Pit, and he doesn't seem to top deck too well, but me neither. The Volcano Charger is just a dead card. Yeah, Halfa top decked a few of those 2k removal spells as well in his semi-finals matchup. That's not something you want to see against Guardian Control, because they're basically buffed every time. And there's a second one. I get the Halfa curse here in the finals. Yeah, you rarely see a Mysterious that's only at 2k in this deck, because it's either buffed by Palaolesis or Petrova, or even both. But he doesn't seem to top deck too well, just passing turns, and now I can get rid of Petrova or Pala. He has to decide if he wants to keep his Petrova around, and he does. So I think he's having a discard card in hand, which he kept. So I don't really think my Bazagazil is here for too long. And yeah, now he scooped up the game very surprisingly for me. He still had the chance, but Hymne told me that he didn't have too many answers left in his deck for Bazagazil, and there was no way for him to finish the game, and he was losing the deck out race. So that's why he scooped early. And you saw maybe a slight cut here in between the games, because we both needed a bath break. It was a really long match. Up to that point we already played for an hour. I just speed up the games here so the video doesn't become too long. Yeah, so 1 hour of intense finals playing. We both decided to take a quick break. And yeah, you saw my starting hand with 3 Soul Swaps and now 2 Terror Pits. That's not really what I want to see starting the game. I definitely would have liked the cards to be in the shields, but okay, so 3 Soul Swaps in my shields and I wouldn't have been able to do any plays with it, so yeah, that wouldn't be too optimal as well. At least I got enough green mana this time to play Dimension Gate in turn 3. I think I'm going to search for Bronze Arm Tribe to advance my mana even more and hopefully get something like Forbos into my mana zone. Otherwise I need to swap out the Faliga and recycle the Dimension Gate, which is also not bad. I think that's also quite nice. So yeah, I think I don't have the best starting hand, but the start wasn't too bad either, so I can still win this game. He discards one of my Soul Swaps with his Giga Balsa, which isn't too problematic. Yeah. Now I play the Bronzam Tribe and charge another Faliga. I would have liked it to be a Forbos, that would be great. Now he's at 5 mana and plays a Petrova and calls Guardian, so yeah, he's quite set up to get out Mysterious next turn. And I draw into a Forbos. That's really nice because I think I can charge a mana and then search for a Lost Soul next turn, so I can get his hand size down to 0 the turn afterwards, and then he has to top deck a creature if he plays Mysterious. And yeah, now he's really he has to play around the Lost Soul. He knows if he's going to draw too many cards, he's just going to lose them. The bad part is I don't have field removal except for Soul Swap, so I have to give him Marrow Ooze if I want to swap the Mysterious out. Now I have the Searing Wave, which is dead because of the Petrova. I think I'm going to charge that one. And now I'm thinking about if I want to discard the 2 cards and hope that he doesn't have a creature, or if I want to Soul Swap the Mysterious out and the Marrow Ooze in, and yeah, then play the Lost Soul the turn afterwards, but then I risk getting Lost Souled myself, so not the ideal position I'm in at this point. I'm really thinking about it. Yeah, but I think the Searing Wave is an immediate charge because the Petrova prevents me of killing any relevant cards. And yeah, I decide to go for the Soul Swap route, so I give him the Marrow Ooze and get rid of one of his Mysterious. Let's see if he can Lost Soul me here. But even if he can, he's still left with only 1 card in hand, which isn't too bad for me. He only has a Giga Balsa, tries to snipe out my Lost Soul, but only hits the Faliga. And here I think that Lost Souling for 1 isn't too beneficial for me. Yeah, I just want to put the Cryptic on board, so that's a threat he has to answer. And now Hymne is starting to think a bit about his next play. He really has 2 routes in his hand. I think he's going to reveal them later on. He has to think here what he wants to do. The Cryptic is a threat, but not immediately. I can't really use it unless I top deck into a Baza Gazil next turn maybe. But even then he has 2 blockers on board. Yeah, in hindsight, if I knew what his hand was, maybe I would have played the Lost Soul last turn for 1. But I'm not too sure if the card you're going to see in a few seconds was in his hand or if he top decked it. I'm not too sure about that. But you're going to be amazed by the next play because that's not what you would expect from a control deck. Yeah, I'm checking my grave. I have time for that because he told me he was thinking about his next step, and of course it's the finals. He definitely has the right to think about his next move for a little bit longer. And he charges the Eureka Charger, and for 5 mana he plays his Glena Will, and yeah, now he's going on the offensive. Not what you would expect from a control deck, but he tries to finish the game early because he has an opening with 4 other attackers. So if he doesn't run into a shield trigger in the first 4 shields, he has game, because Petrova can't be targeted, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He doesn't hit any shield triggers except for the last shield, which is a burst shot. So if he would have attacked into shield 5 first, he would have I would have cleared his whole board except for Petrova and Glena, which would be very good for me. And yeah, that's GG. He takes the game in one swing, in one turn. And yeah, congrats to Hymne for taking IDC 4. I think it was a really bold move to do this, and he definitely deserved the win. And now I just show my shields, and yeah, that was a bit unlucky for me, but that was yeah, was a really nice move, and that got him the win. I hope you guys enjoyed this duel video, and let's see you guys at another one. Bye!